debate with me.
My question for you is more based on discourse. In a climate right now with what's going on outside and what can happen in here, the word bigot being thrown around, how do we maintain a level of intellectual discourse that keeps conversation happening instead of not happening? And then how do you also, because you've made mistakes that you admit to, how do you check yourself? And then do you have people in your life that check you when you make mistakes?
Yes. I think that the whole experience that I went through with regard to my case, forced confinement, I found myself in a totally different world. I had been used to the rarefied world of political debate. In fact, I thought of American politics as a debate. We've got these two sides, and it's kind of like a great clash of ideas. And it's frankly only by seeing politics from the other side, in fact, in some cases from behind bars, and seeing other people with me locked up, and realizing, look, I'm a controversial political figure, I'll land on my feet when I get out of here. These people's lives are completely destroyed. Their American dream is actually gone. And my American dream will probably come back. I couldn't at that time anticipate the phone call I received when I was in my office this past May, which is, hello, this is the White House operator, hold the line for the President of the United States. That's a good call to get. And I held the line, and it was Trump, and he was in a very Trumpian mood. By pardoning me, he gave me my American dream back. But what I'm saying is the journey, very eye-opening, very introspective. You only have to be locked up with a bunch of guys who are in for, they are coyotes, drug smugglers, murderers, rapists, sleeping next to you and talking to you every day to realize my life has actually taken a Boethian twist here, and I have to learn from that. And the best I can do is come out better at the other end of it. So I've tried to do that. Now, the other part of your question is this use of the word bigot. You got to be very careful, because when I was here at Dartmouth, I was a freshman here in the aftermath of what's called the Berkeley Free Speech Movement. And it was all these guys who were like, free speech, free speech, free speech. And we supported them. Our newspaper on campus was partly modeled on the Berkeley Barb that was behind this kind of activism. It's only later I realized that when those guys take control, they will immediately start suppressing the speech of others. In other words, they don't actually believe in free speech. They believe in free speech for them. Bigot is a very loaded term. And because it has real sting and applies to real people, there's an effort to try to pin it on people. See, like these guys are walking out, they're too lazy to debate with me. They're not going to. I mean, they aren't. They aren't. Because, I'll tell you why. Hold on. Look, I'm here. I'm here.
Think about that. Like, if you respect the institution and the standards that this institution upholds, for you to say that they're lazy is kind of a bit
I'm not
out
saying
of
that they're
line.
lazy people. I'm simply saying that they are not willing to do the intellectual work to stand up face to face with me. Look, if I said those things on those posters, and if I believe them, and if they're all true, this is a slam dunk against me. All someone has to do is stand up here, quote my own words back to me in the complete confidence that I would have no rebuttal, right? And crush me. And I'm saying they can't do that, and they're not going to, or if they will, I'm actually anticipating that and waiting for it, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm just saying that the enemy of free speech is not me. The enemy of free speech are the people who would rather have that I never came, that they never would have to have that kind of debate, that they would win this confrontation by default.